there's always talk about Kickstarter versus Indiegogo and deplatformings and things like that. And unfortunately, there's not a really great way to do things as a indie author, unless you're Eric July size or something like that. Because if you have that kind of platform, you can direct your audience wherever, and it just kind of works out. But at my size or smaller, you really need these platforms to get eyeballs on your projects. I put books up on my own web store. This is my site right here. And there's just a limited amount of people who will just sign up and buy books like that. Now, we take PayPal and everything, so you've got that full consumer deal. But the only people that see it are people I direct directly to my video, right? And so I get a limited amount of people doing that. And that's why I need things like Kickstarter in order to make projects go. Now, Kickstarter's had its problems over the years, so has Indiegogo. I am currently banned from Indiegogo for life. I'm banned from Patreon. And Kickstarter has not banned me. However, they did ban my last project that I put out. So it's a tricky situation here where there's censorship going on in the arts. And it's really funny because the mainstream industry always goes out there and they actually advertise their books with this is the most banned book in America. It's like you can find it on every shelf. When they do their Kickstarter projects, Kickstarter labels them projects we love, and this is an amazing banned book. It's like they gaslight you on it too. It's like, that's not banned. You can buy it anywhere. So it's really weird. But Kickstarter has a new head of comics, and I'm actually optimistic for once that there might be a change of directions. And I'll tell you why as we get into this video. So my name is John Delarose. I'm an award-winning comic creator for my science fiction comics. I'm a #1 best-selling author on Amazon, and 18 full novels, 12 graphic novels. We're into this. This is how I spend most of my days, is writing comic books. And this is Overmind, and it's a science fiction epic about a rogue AI taking over a planet and a beautiful redhead who they don't allow anymore in comics, dealing with this and making sure that the planetary populace is safe for the Terran Imperium. It's a really, really good book, and you'll enjoy it. It's got some great subtext. It's got beautiful art, and it's got a wonderful storyline with a ton of action. So if you like old school, 80s comic books, you're going to very much enjoy this. It's 66 pages of its story, and then some more in the extras as well. Now, we're going to be launching book 2 of this on Kickstarter, probably June-ish, somewhere in there. And I want you to catch up now. So I'm going to put this link in. It's in my web store. So if you go to the description below to my web store, I've got this and dozens of other books for you to check out if you want to come support the channel, support what we're doing. We've also got a Subscribe Star. That's our Patreon alternative. I'm putting out exclusive books through there. We're running circles around everybody else in indie comics. It's awesome. So join us and join the movement. Really appreciate you. So Kickstarter. Kickstarter ran through some problems back in 2016, 2017. There was this blue-haired weirdo who was the head of comics, and she seemed to be causing problems for everybody there. And she got fired, I think around 2020, if I recall. And Kickstarter actually seemed to get a little better after that happened. People were making their books on there. Nobody was bothering them for a while until a guy named Bryce Gold got hired on Kickstarter. And when Bryce Gold got hired, this is the first book I saw that got targeted by that whole deal. This is The Wise at Heart by Hans Schantz, and actually has the same cover artist as my my Overmind book for my interiors. And so I was supporting this book, and Kickstarter banned it, all because it had a message to the story that people don't like, and on the woke side. And so Bryce Gold was out there censoring conservative thought, and this is where we're at. You cannot espouse the Bible anymore on Kickstarter. You can put up full pornography, but not that. And that's Bryce Gold's a Portland guy, and he has a big anti-Trump rants, about Nazis and all that on his Twitter, and so it was obvious where it was going. They then banned Punisher writer Mike Barron's book as it was being funded as well, which is again like a Punisher alternative, just a character. They a bunch of people libeled him as racist and reported him to Kickstarter. They banned it. And then they banned my book, which was a parody of Andrew Tate. I was making fun of Andrew Tate, but just because it had an image of a character who looks like Andrew Tate on it, I guess a bald dude like with some tattoos whose beef is enough to get you banned. And so we got banned on there, and it really hurt our last project, which was a really great book, by the way. Really sad. And so, but then Bryce Gold's gone. He stepped down. And this is why I think things might get a little bit better. So he's gone. He's out of this whole situation now, and he's there. I tried to talk about this back in the day. I said, Bryce, my friend who had his comic approved by Kickstarter, then ran for 20+ days, just got banned and removed. Can you give me a statement on this? How is this outreaching to the community? And this is always odd because like that's the technical title is like head of comics outreach. And when like actual comic creators, I've used Kickstarter for like a dozen projects. I've raised over $100,000 on Kickstarter. So I'm somebody like his main person he should be outreaching to is probably me. And no response. Refused to respond to me about anything. Absolutely crazy. This is like the opposite of outreach. So I'm glad he's gone from the company. He did a terrible job. If Kickstarter's watching this guy, like all he did was shill for like Boom Studios and the big corporate projects because he was applying for jobs at those companies. And so, a lot of corporate projects came in from bigger companies with like Power Rangers and different things. And, all he did was promote those. He really wasn't there to uplift the comics community indie authors, which is kind of what Kickstarter's designed for to begin with. And corporations have now gotten in on this. This is another trend in the market that's making things a little harder. But whatever. He's gone. Good riddance. See you, Bryce. I hope you enjoy your new job that you've been applying for the last couple of years by shilling for corporations. And we got somebody else who's coming in now. This is Sam Kusek. I hope I pronounced that right. And he's now the senior outreach lead for comics. Now, he actually came from Boom Studios as well. I shouldn't say as well because the other guy was not from there. He just shilled for them. But he came from Boom, which is a bigger comic company. It's owned by Mark Waid. And so there, his proclivities are probably not the best. But I went on Twitter, and this is why I'm cautiously optimistic about this. All he does is talk about comics. There's no anti-Trump rants. There's none of that stuff. He just talks about comics. And I'm just like, wow, this is refreshing to see. Kickstarter actually hired somebody who's a comics outreach guy who's actually about comics. Cool. And I looked into what he did, and he actually worked for Boom for their various like Kickstarter deals. And so he headed their special projects like this, and I was very excited about this when this came out, and I'm a backer of this. And Boom actually has the Farscape license, and they ran a Farscape campaign to do a continuation of the show through comics, and they're collecting all of them into these omnibuses. Beautiful stuff. And so made over $800,000. The guy did very well with this. And so he actually was running these campaigns on the campaign side for a while, and now is joining as outreach lead. So this is again like something that I view as very potentially positive. It's somebody who actually is involved in creating projects and making projects, probably a little less likely to try to censor people just because of who they are or who they voted for or whatnot. I think it's a good idea. I don't call this the most coveted job. I definitely don't know about that. But this is Comics Beat Heidi McDonald talking about this. But this guy is clearly about comics first, and that is refreshing to hear. And so I haven't reached out to him yet. We'll see how he is towards the community in a bit. But again, cautious optimism for changes here at Kickstarter. He says, I feel there's never been a better time to be in comics creator on Kickstarter. In 2023, we saw an 11% year-over-year increase in the number of projects and a 12% rise in the number of successful projects. That's good. While the dollars pledged to comics grew by 31%. So while everybody's exiting the comic book stores because of what Marvel and DC is doing, they're going to these independent projects more and more. And I knew this, of course. I'm excited to be stepping into a community that's growing and thriving with consistent support from backers. I hope to use that momentum to have key conversations about what's working and, more importantly, what we can change and develop and keep that going. Now, I'm going to message him, and I'm going to talk to him about what they can change and develop to keep that going. Because Kickstarter does have a, biased system to it, and maybe he's going to watch this, and maybe he'll change it just based on that. Kickstarter, as I said, I got my project banned for nebulous reasons. I relaunched it on another profile and just changed the cover image, by the way, to not have a bald dude who's, and they approved the project. I successfully funded. And so it's like, guys, I mean, you're censoring over ridiculous stuff. I want to see that type of censorship gone, and I hope that's happening at this point. I really think the culture is changing now. People are really fed up with being harassed over politics like this, and I'd love to see a return to normalcy on that level. Number two, Kickstarter also has a system where they have like these like featured projects we love, and they always tend to be creators who are politically on a certain side. And when I launch projects, I've noticed that I've done tests on this. My stuff always gets pinned to the bottom of active projects. So if there's 300 comics up that are random, mine will be all the way at the bottom, no matter what. And I tested it on different browsers from different locations. Even on days where like I'd have thousands of dollars rolling in, so it was probably one of the top projects on the site, it would still be at the bottom, and that's intentional. I want to see like back end things like that not exist. If you're going to do that, you should be open and honest about it. It shouldn't be like something hidden, like a hidden feature that just be a little more transparent. Transparency is a good thing, and honestly, like it shouldn't happen. That sort of thing should never happen because especially if you're sorting through quote magic, it should be random, and people should be able to find random projects and not have creators basically have a soft censorship, because that's no good. So those are the things I'd like to see changed right away. And there's other things. They're implementing an in-demand system now, which I've been hoping would come in for years. Which is a good thing on that front, because that's the one advantage Indiegogo had over them, was they could, after the project closed, keep funding. And that's something Kickstarter's been losing dollars out on over. They've got add-ons now in the back end, so the features are working there. I think it's the slickest website out there. I like running my projects on there. But the couple of things, just like with the hidden sort of shadow ban, that sort of thing, I hope we can get resolved so they don't happen going forward. And that's my thoughts. All right. Like I said, cautiously optimistic, because, again, this guy seems to be mostly about comics. All he does is post about comics. This is his website, or this is his Twitter right here, which is great. And I hope we can see some positive changes going forward. Good luck to Sam. And we'll be reporting the news as we see it happening again. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. There's one place I'll never be banned, which is my own website. Go buy Overmind right now and catch up on all of our books. I'm so excited for what the future's going to bring, guys. We'll be back soon.